Next item. Review the yearly calendar. The purpose is to set our calendar placeholders for the budget, the Independent Citizens Oversight Committee, that is the ICOC, caucus reporting deadline, and determine open dates for work plan presentations and discussions. So this is included here in our packet. Pete really graciously put this together for us. We have also about 16 minutes left in this meeting, just to call it time. I'm actually going to work from my soft copy, just to be. So looking at our calendar, the work plan is submitted. Hold on just 1 second. When is the work plan submitted?
In August.
Okay. And when, by when, like?
So if you guys approve it as written, we still need to do that, by the way, with all the pieces, then it would go to the committee in 2 weeks and officially be approved or denied before the end of the month.
Approved.
Or denied by the end of the month. So
End of
before
August.
before the end of August.
Okay, so we need to get it in your hands by?
You should really have made the decision by the end of this meeting today. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've approved
Yeah.
the pieces, right?
Yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna, should approve the whole thing, but all the pieces are here, so between what Jonathan's written down and what I've written down, it can just be.
So if we make a motion to approve our entire work plan right now,
Yeah.
then that gives you the ability to take it to rules committee. to
Exactly.
rules.
Also,
Okay.
motion.
So, I'll second that. Let's vote.
Approved.
I'm sorry, ayes first?
Ayes.
All ayes, okay, just to make sure.
So, assuming approval, we will begin the homelessness ad hoc in November. And can you read the summarize for all of those ad hocs with the assumption they're approved?
Yeah, so assuming everything is approved, we've got a bylaws ad hoc, which will start September 13th and end March 14th. With the scope as written, leaders Wilkins and member Commissioner Henry. We have a caucus ad hoc, which will begin November 8th, 2017. It will end on May 9th, 2017, as written with Chair of Kolstad and members Carter and Martin. We have a local sales tax, ICOC, which is a standing committee, as written with leader Cunningham and members Carter, Hernandez, Giannone, and Lebowski. We have Foster Creating Neighborhood Associations Roadshow for September 13th, 2017, and ending in March 14th, 2018. So these are all, yeah, I screwed up the 17s on the previous ones. I'll have to fix that. 2018, my apologies. With a leader of Commissioner Henry and members Wilkins, Andreas, and Semanek, scope as written. And then we have the impact of supportive housing on November 15th, 2017, ending, sunsetting on May 9th, 2018, with the scope to review and evaluate current supportive housing facilities and personal assessment services on homeless persons with the community, focusing on the impact of homeless-specific affordable housing on neighborhoods, specifically on the real and perceived impacts to crime, property value, overall quality of life, with deliverable letter to City Council on the impact of supportive housing, led by myself, with members Lebowski and Semanek, and the definition was copied.
Thank you. So Sabrina will consolidate that consolidate everything tonight by tomorrow, 5 p.m. To be submitted, so we have a firm, clearly approved work plan in place by the end of the month, just so we're all completely clear about what we're doing. I'm not sure, I don't think we need to spend too much more time on the calendar, but one key date I want to look far ahead at is the budget letter. It's always always very much a race to the finish to ensure that our, in my experience has been a race to the finish to ensure that our feedback is included and really truly made actionable. So looking on this schedule, we have a draft letter in February, that we'll start working on in December. So we'll have a team of folks that starts to work on that. In prior years, the feedback has always been that I think folks have had less than a day, a couple days to look at our feedback. So this year it's really important to me that we have that early, because our feedback, I think, is so rich and so actionable. And it's a priority for me, all of us, I'm sure. Anything else on the calendar?
Perhaps just that, I guess the city council meeting to decide the fate of the neighborhood commission is on 22nd.
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 And
It should all be attended.
That's a good point. And what was the deadline Zuma said? Did somebody write it down for our feedback?
It was like a week, I think she said, but really, if we're gonna write a letter as a body, we need to write that body tonight, because we won't be able to approve it otherwise.
That's right. You guys really would need to come out with the content of that letter by this meeting.
by this-
Otherwise, you guys could all submit individual letters, however you'd like.
Well, given a number of things, I personally think individual letters is more powerful. We've spoken in the form of a retreat. We spoke multiple times in the form of multiple different body-like feedback. And I feel like our council members getting 20 letters or X number of letters from us speaks more than a letter from the body. So a potentially self-serving letter from this body.
Commissioner Lubowski?
So I would concur with Chairman that for chairman.
Chair.
Okay, confer the agree with the
The
chair.
esteemed and honorable.
Esteemed and
most-
honorable. That 22nd showing up in person, that is consistent with what you just described, is probably the most powerful statement we could make. So if we show up and we had 20 of us there, it would make a huge difference. If we show up and we had 3 of us there, that's helpful, but closer to 20 is better. None of us are there, I know what I would do if I was a council member. I'd say lack of interest. So the more we can get there, the better, and that matters. We'll all be able to speak, we'll all at least get the 2 or 3 minutes that they give you, we go from there.
Yeah, and so before we go to the
Sorry.
next,
Just want to clarify, it's 2 minutes, and if there's a ton of people, they sometimes cut it down to 1, so you guys can prepare appropriately.
and so before we go to Commissioner Wilkins, my council member told us this is going to be the first item on the evening agenda. Is that correct?
Great.
It is
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been held to the evening agenda, and because this comes under what would be section 4 of the agenda, therefore it would be the first thing heard before any of the section 10 stuff on the agenda.
Sometimes
So that starts at 6 p.m.,
6 p.m. is when
the evening session.
the evening session, so
Yes.
be there just before 6.
Yeah. And it's free parking.
Oh, just to, sorry, to be clear, one more thing. There's 1 or 2 sometimes ceremonial items that happen, so it won't be heard right at 6. It'll be heard immediately following the ceremonial items.
Commissioner Wilkins?
Just clarification then, we're doing individual letters or emails. Is it to our respective council member, to all of them, or to him?
So I personally plan to handwrite on my own stationery, has my name on it, personal letters to each council member with those 3 points that I made.
Got it.
People can do what they want, but to me, if I got that to me says the most. I think email's fine, I think any communication, I think just keep it concise, and I would bullet it, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So,
Oh, Commissioner Estrada, sorry.
I just, I was a little bit torn right now about should we write a letter or individual letters. And the only thing I see missing from this document that Zuma Maciel created is it doesn't summarize what the commission recommended. And I wondered, it sounds like staff is going to write a document now for the council. This is not for the council. And I wondered if that could include the neighborhood commission's recommendation.
So there
For transparency.
is a council memo that has in each section, so under the 4 areas of concern, for lack of better terminology right now, it has a section that says commission recommendations and then staff recommendations. So they're separate. And we haven't given it to you guys because I think now we are also going to incorporate in the commission recommendations some of the feedback from this evening.
Thank you, I appreciate that you guys are doing that. Commissioner Henry, did you have something to say?
Commissioner, we have a member of the public who would like to speak.
One thing real quick, I wanted to make a comment here. I feel that we should do both. I feel that this body should write a letter, even if it's a short letter, and I do feel that we should independently write our own letters to our council members and to this entire city council. I think that way you have something from this body, because that's kind of what, Councilmember Rocha was looking for. Has this body made an official statement? The answer is no, because we have not written a letter.
Well, I would just disagree with that. The retreat was our collective answer. So.
So that's, go ahead, Commissioner Shada.
So maybe there's a compromise here because if I understand correctly, staff will include neighborhood commission recommendations in the document that they provide to the city council. If we were to write a letter, we would do it in less than 6 minutes, and it would be something like one simple sentence that says, we urge the council to consider the commission's recommendations.
Yeah, I would almost say, as Councilmember Rocha said, he'd be open to the 1-year stay, which our chair also mentioned. I feel that we should write a very short letter asking for a 1-year stay as is, so that we can create our bylaws, and then we can also then see what that impact is on staff. If that impact doesn't reduce load enough, then they can go ahead and reevaluate, possibly with more staff or whatever they recommend in 2018.
I move to do exactly what you just said in 5 minutes.
Hold on. We have a member of the public who wishes to speak. I want to be respectful here. We've had quite enough time to speak among ourselves. So, Delbert Ng, hello, welcome.
Hello, I'm terribly late because my start time for this meeting, I had it wrong, about an hour later. But, so I apologize. Just wanted to make a comment on a recap of what you've spoken about earlier. Hopefully not a repeat of what you discussed. This is about the staff recommendation about the reduction of the makeup of this Neighborhood Commission. I believe the Neighborhood Commission does really good work. So I'll get to the point. I do not like the change to reduce the commission seats from 2 members to 1 member from each district. This proposal gives a major impression. Our elected city representatives has not favored recent feedback, advisory feedback, inputs from the neighborhood commissions, thus seeking to weaken its voice and influence by weakening the neighborhood commission. 50% reduction when it comes to problem solving and ideas. 2 heads are better than 1. So this is more like a plea to city council and the mayor. Do not change or reduce the number of commission seats. Also, do not change to allow a commissioner appointed by the mayor. With this proposal, the mayor would impart an unfair influence, as this appointed commissioner will be a personal, commissioner for the mayor's personal viewpoint and agenda in the midst of the neighborhood commission. Though this implication may be denied, this will be a blatant impropriety, as the mayor is already represented through his district's neighborhood commissioner, where he resides. The appointment and beholden commissioner will also become a vote tiebreaker bias in the mayor's favor. So do not change or allow a commissioner appointed by the mayor. This would be another step towards reduction of rights of citizens to an open door government. Characteristics of communism and fascism. Councilman Tam Nguyen from District 7, from which I am from, would never go for this, or would he? Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir, for taking your time tonight.
Well said.
Yeah.
All right, we have 2 minutes. Jonathan's finished our letter, yes? wanna read it?
So far, here's what I got, and I'm hoping all of you guys are gonna help me like we did on homelessness. The Neighborhoods Commission requests a one-year stay of the commission as is, with no changes for this 2017-2018 year. This will give the commission time to generate bylaws, including protocols and procedures for commonly asked questions of commissioners. This will give the commission the opportunity to become more efficient and will optimally reduce workload on staff. Now I feel that we're missing one piece of that, which would be it would allow for the city council to put back on the table the increase in city staff and funding. As Councilmember Roach has said, they can't do it currently because that happened in June of 2018. We would be allowed to have that option on the table, so that's when they can make their decision if they needed to. So help me put that on a piece of paper.
I think it's, I think going there, okay. I think keeping it short, like you've done, and maybe trying to add a sentence or two about diversity.
Yeah,
This
that's
is,
what I
for
was gonna
me,
say.
we're growing and we're diverse, and we're gonna get shrunk and we're not gonna be diverse. And to me, that's the crippling part of this. So I don't know how can we stay a couple minutes late, folks?
Yeah, and I second exactly what that was gonna be my suggestion. Not go into the money thing, but go into the diversity and the fact that we're growing and they need that extra coverage.
Yeah, if I can just make a comment too, I think I just said this when I was here, it's the diversity of this commission itself to represent the community and representing the diversity of the interests of those diverse communities in terms of issues. And that may be subtle, but I think it's very important.
All right, so help me make that sentence. So the diversity of this commission is,
Well, it's
reflects the diversity of the community.
the membership composition of this committee.
It's critical to maintain the diversity, representative diversity, something like that.
We reflect the diversity of the community.
Commissioner Carter?
Yeah, and diversity of this committee reflects the diversity of our neighborhoods.
Right.
Not just the community, but our individual
Neighborhoods,
neighborhoods. We
yeah.
are the neighborhoods commission, so I think neighborhood needs to be in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
right, good point.
If I can borrow that, I'll describe something real quick.
What'd you dream up there,
here's
Johnson?
what we got. So the diversity of the commission is critical to maintain the representative diversity of our neighborhoods.
Yes.
And we can do that. So the whole thing reads, the Neighborhoods Commission requests a
On your
one-year...
sign.
It's okay, just keep, go ahead.
Okay. The Neighborhoods Commission requests a one-year stay of the Neighborhoods Commission as is, with no changes for this 2017-2018 year. This will give the Neighborhoods Commission time to generate bylaws, including protocols and procedures for commonly asked questions of commissioners. This will give the Commission the opportunity to become more efficient and will optimally reduce workload on staff. The diversity of the Commission is critical to maintain the representative diversity of our neighborhoods.
But you gotta tie it to the quantity.
The diversity of this Commission is critical to maintain...
Made possible through the number, made possible by the size, or through the size of the commission, something like that.
Retaining the size of the commission keeps pace with, something like.
Well, yeah, put that in front of his sentence.
Right.
Maintaining the size of this commission,
Yes.
comma, and then yours.
So I put, Commissioner Estrada, you've had your...
Your wordsmith.
Oh, and it's just the opposite either way, but I would just think that if the jeopardy is the reduction, so a reduction in the size of the commission would jeopardize whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Just a different way of saying it, however you want to say
No, I
it.
like that.
That's a good point. So right now, keep that in mind here. I have the diversity of the commission is critical to maintain the representative diversity of our neighborhoods made possible through retaining the size of the commission. Alternatively, we could put reducing the size of the commission. Jeopardizes, thank you. Jeopardizes the representative diversity of our neighborhoods.
The representation.
Sabrina, can Jonathan email that to you and put that on letterhead?
Yes.
Thank you. Oh,
Yeah, you do.
can you read, sorry, when you're done, if you can read it one more time.
Yeah, I've got some.
Wordsmithing. Why don't we do something else while you do that?
Hey, thank you.
Okay, no pressure, Jonathan. All right, we've reviewed the working calendar, review council priorities, review city council priorities for the upcoming 6 months, determine if the commission should offer assistance by conducting community outreach. And folks, I won't let us go late again, but we'll end at about 8:10, 8:15 tonight. Sabrina, is that you?
My only thing I was gonna say is that there's still one item left on your agenda you haven't dealt with.
Oh.
That's what I like that, sir.
Let's hope it's a really lengthy, difficult.
I always gotta go through that. So I've got this done, if we wanna do this.
Okay.
quick. The Neighborhoods Commission requests a one-year stay of the Neighborhood Commission as is, with no changes for this 2017-2018 year. This will give the Neighborhoods Commission time to generate bylaws, including protocols and procedures for commonly asked questions of commissioners. This will give the commission the opportunity to become more efficient and will optimally reduce workload on staff. Reducing the size of the commission jeopardizes the representative diversity of our neighborhoods.
If I could add.
Sure.
That might be just fine. That might be just fine, but the Neighborhood Commission has historically been a stepping stone for participative government and city council for our diverse community. Let's keep the voice of our neighborhoods at the center of our community's government.
That's a good closing
Ooh.
sentence.
Very
That's
nice.
a good closing
Because we
sentence.
have one or two people that have
Yeah.
matriculated to city council.
Yeah.
Can you give him the paper?
And, yeah, sure.
That's very
So,
And,
so we put that sentence at the end
At
of
the end.
Yeah, we
reducing the
Yeah,
size and all
closing-
that?
Closing sentence.
All right,
All right,
I'll
so
make a
you guys,
motion for that.
you guys work on that. Let me do the thing that I didn't do, which is what?
What did